Welcome everyone to today's webinar. Today you've got the lovely opportunity to hear about our LLM programme that we offer at CCLS in Paris. My name is Sophie Dunn. I'm the Content Outreach and Events Coordinator for the School of Law Marketing team, and my job is to help answer any questions that you might have for us. So please use this time with us to ask questions. We'll have some time at the end dedicated for a Q&A, but we are also encouraging questions during the presentation as well. And we also have Francois here with us today, who is an LLM student in Paris, so you can hear directly from him about his experience studying the LLM in Paris. If you have a very specific question, I may answer that directly to you in the Q&A chat. But if there's anything more broad that everyone could benefit from hearing the answer, I'll save that until the end. So please don't worry if I've not come to your question. It might just be that I'm saving it for the Q&A at the end. And we're also recording this webinar, so we'll send that out to you so you can go back and watch if you've missed anything. Yeah, and if there's anything we don't know the answer to, we'll try and answer outside of this webinar. So I can always pass my email address on to you all. So without further ado, I'll pass on to you, Maria, and we can get started.
Thank you very much, Sophie. So welcome everyone. Angeliki, I'm waiting for Angeliki to share our slides, although I can quite quickly get to the first slide, which as you might see has our photos in my, don't get too disappointed. So my name is Maria Fanou. I am the director of the Paris program, one of the academics with the School of International Arbitration. I'm very pleased to introduce also Angeliki Pollatou, who is our programs coordinator. Angeliki is actually the heart of the Paris program. And for those of you who will join us, all of you, I hope, you will be seeing a lot of Angeliki and also of me. So we have Angeliki, I'm seeing the blue slide on starting Paris webinar.
Yes,
we can move to the Law at Queen Mary one. A sense, the About Us, slide 3. So I don't think the proof 10 years earlier, 10 years ago. So is there anything you want to say, Angeliki, before I move on by way of introduction?
I want to say welcome to everybody, and I know that in one way or another I have been in contact with you by email and all this kind of, and I'm looking forward to see you and hope to see you in January in Paris. Yeah, that's it from me.
And as I told Angeliki before the meeting, and as Sophie mentioned, by all means, feel free to jump in, raise your hand or just unmute yourselves. We hope for that session to be lively. And for anyone who will take any class with me in the future will know that so much text in one slide is too much. So the LLM program that you will be enrolled in is part of the CCLS, the Center for Commercial Law Studies, which was created in 1980 by Sir Roy Good. I'm not going to do the self-bragging. You obviously know how good Queen Mary is. I will just say that we have one of the largest LLM programs in the UK and in Europe. And it is a program that takes pride in the diversity of their students. We have students from over 80 countries, and we also take pride in us having a campus in Paris, which, as you will see in our next slide, it's located in the Invalides area, which I see here, Angeliki has very, very nicely put a couple of top attractions, but I can say that it is one of my favorite places in Paris, and it's the place where you will all take all your friends, family, visitors to get the best view of the Eiffel Tower. It is Pont d'Alexandre, write that down, and then one of the most lively Parisian areas. We can move on to our little map. Again, central location. Our programs, our LLM in Paris. So we have, it's in 1 year full-time program. Although Angeliki, here I might need you to jump in. We do have part-time options.
Yeah, we do. It's just not here, unfortunately,
Okay.
because I forgot it. It's 2 years part-time.
Okay, excellent. That's what I was about to say, but then I'm like, maybe I should think before I speak. So either 1 year full-time or 2 years part-time. We have different specialisms, the following four: banking and finance, comparative and international dispute resolution, and I disclose my bias in favor of that specialism, sorry, intellectual property law, and then TMT, technology, media, and telecoms law. Of course, everything is taught and assessed entirely in English. One of the very significant differences of the Paris program vis-a-vis many other LLM programs, including to some extent our own London program, is the intensive block teaching, which I personally, as an alumna of the program as well, I should have said that earlier, find terrific. What does intensive teaching mean? It means that you need to be quite mature and able to have self-discipline and ways to manage your freedom, because all classes will be delivered in 1 or 2 weeks. And then you will have to work around those dates for your own independent studying. But it is very efficient, and it is one of the features that we are also implementing to the extent possible in London, exactly because of the high rates of student satisfaction that arise from that. In addition to our standard LLM in Paris, which is exactly the same LLM as the one in London, we have another option, which is a double LLM in cooperation with Paris Sorbonne. This is more of a novelty. We launched it in January 2018. There is no part-time option here. It is only full-time, and the duration is not 1 year, like it was the case for our simple Queen Mary single LLM program. It's 18 months. There is an internship module included, which is overseen by the Sorbonne, and you can only have two specialisms, two qualifications: LLM in International Business Law from us, Queen Mary, and an LLM in French and European Law from Sorbonne. Of course, if you are taking that program, you also need to be, if not fluent, definitely you need to speak French very, very well. Angeliki, jump in here.
Yes, yes, a bilingual program. What I wanted to add here, it's this program, the double LLM, it's only starting January. I know from the people that I've seen that joined today, there were a couple of you that already applied for this program, and you're waiting, you have already a decision, waiting for an interview with the Sorbonne. It is, you start in January with us, with CCLS in Paris, with Queen Mary, and in September, you join the Sorbonne for the leg of studies there. The admission is a two-tier admission, let's say. You will be shortlisted by us, and then you have an interview with the Sorbonne that they will assess your French proficiency, let's say. Yeah, that's about this the Sorbonne program. I want to add something that it was on the previous, Maria, sorry, I don't know if I can do that now.
Yes,
it's on the previous slide, which is we have a special arrangement with the Paris Bar School, EFP, which it happens with this, in this arrangement, if you can take our LLM as part of the PPI, the project pédagogique. And so you will start your LLM, usually in January is a more, let's say, suitable for the program, the timeline of the Paris Bar as well. You will do our taught part. You will have a 60 credits dissertation to complete with us that you submit it depends on when you're starting in December or August, and all these will count towards your PPI. So these are the very specific arrangement with the Paris Bar School. I don't know if any of you are part of this, apply through this arrangement, but yeah, this is something that it will be good to know. So yes, going back, I think, yes, the teaching and learning in Paris. Maria, over to you.
I think I was too excited about this feature of the program that I have already given it away, intensive block teaching, full in person. Of course, this again doesn't mean that one has to only worry about their LLM during the days that they have classes, but it just maximizes flexibility. And it also allows people, students who work in parallel, to take that program. And you will see that several of your classmates will already be in-house counsel, associates with law firms or independent practitioners. And that's in se an opportunity to network in class. This intensive block teaching happens in very small class sizes. So I don't think that you will have any module where you will have more than 20 people, more or less, which is great because as compared to several of our modules in London, this means that it can be way more interactive. And this also means that you can build a relationship with your teachers as well, which you will be. It's easier for all of us to get to know you in Paris. For example, when I teach commercial arbitration in London, I have 70 students, and in Paris, 20. So despite the fact that I do have a good memory, it's easier to handle that in Paris. All teachers, all faculty members travel from London to teach in Paris. Or in my case, I travel from Paris to teach in London. But one way or the other, you are getting the exact same people who teach in London, teaching in Paris. And of course, in all of our modules, or, in the vast majority of our modules, we ensure that we have guest teachers for some specific sessions, particularly the ones that have practical skills components, who are from the Parisian practitioners from the Parisian market. So we always integrate our teaching to the practice. Now, what is the LLM structure? You need to complete 180 credits. In certain specialisms, you also need to do a dissertation, which is 30 credits. These are not additional. These are part of those 180 credits. The taught modules that we offer might have a credit value of 30 or 15 credits. For you to specialize in one of the 3 specialisms, I said 3, although I announced 4 before, because the general one, the international business one, is the default specialism. If you want to specialize in arbitration or in IP or in TMT, 90 credits, 90 taught credits, plus the dissertation must be in the specific specialism. It might sound complex or technical, but A, we ensure we make that super clear during the inductions, and B, quite frankly, if you are interested in something, as you will see, your problem will be what not to take and not what to take to comply with the 90 taught credits requirement. It's entirely up to you whether you want to specialize or not, and it is not something you will decide today. It's a good idea to start thinking about it, but it is something that we will be exploring together during the January induction week. Of course, you can select 60 credits of modules from any other specialist. We call them free choice. And I won't get into the different structure for the WLLM and the EFB students. I'll leave that to Angeliki. I don't know if you think it's appropriate to do it now or up to you, Angeliki.
I know, as I said, I noticed that there are a couple of people that they have applied for the program and they are holding offers for the double LLM. So I think I will very quick. I will explain a bit the structure. It's the same idea of 180 credits. The difference is that you complete with us, with Queen Mary, 150 credits, including a 30 credits dissertation. From January to June, then you go to the Sorbonne and your conversion d'estage, the internship anyway, 30 credits will count towards our credits. You will take it the next year, I mean April next year, when you will be at the Sorbonne. So you will get 180 credits, but in a way we share 30 credits with the Sorbonne that counts towards both their LLM and our LLM, because as you can understand, you get out in 18 months, we take 2 LLMs. So this is the structure of the double LLM. And I won't get into the details of EFP. It's similar to the single LLM. It's just 60 credits dissertation instead of 30. That's it.
Wonderful. I'm quite tempted to say that if you have any questions, jump in. But, I'll leave it up to you. Move to that slide and, LLM induction. This will be in January. This will be in the week of the 19th of January, if I may disclose that, Angeliki, although too late to ask. It's 3 days essentially, quite busy, but it's everything you need to know and get you started with the success. As part of the induction, we have planned a lot of things for you. There will be sessions by the program directors. You will hear about all modules and all specialisms. You will be meeting people. You will learn about access to resources. Essentially, anything and everything you need to know will be planned for you for those 3 days. Plus, there will be an opening event followed by a networking drinks reception at our premises in Paris. For this year, we're planning a small round table with in-house counsel from different sectors. We can move to the next slide, I think. So again, a lot of things here. In addition to the modules, to your modules, in addition to the credit value modules that you will have to take, you have the option to take modules which are not for credit, but we're very warmly encourage you to take them. Because they enhance your, and I'm referring to the critical thinking and writing in law module. Essentially, it will help anyone who wants to do a dissertation. It will help all of you to improve your legal research and writing skills. No credit, no additional cost. It's only for your benefit. Of course, in some cases, it might also be mandatory, but you will know if you fall into that category in advance. But my personal approach is that even if not mandatory, you should think of a good reason not to take that, not for reasons to take that. It's why not, actually. Of course, we will be offering several other opportunities, bespoke workshops. We will have guest lectures. So there will be a lot going on that we cannot put everything in a slide. Here, as you may see, we have a lot of, you will have access to resources. You will have access to different libraries. One example is our own, we have a wonderful library. I'll be honest, not in terms of resources, it's small. I mean, physical library, but it is in the second floor of our building, and it has a wonderful view to the Eiffel Tower. I myself prefer working from the library than from the shared office we have with Angeliki in the fourth floor. It's quiet and really, really lovely. And of course, you don't really need to have too many books as hard copies, because we also take pride in the online resources that Queen Mary offers you access to. So there's nothing you will need to have access to, and Queen Mary wouldn't provide that. And of course, if you want to leave our Invalides neighborhood, there are other libraries that are open to you, such as BNF, which is the National Library of France, or CUSAS, which is in Rue CUSAS. And it's essentially the library where students from Paris 1 and Paris 2 would go to work. It has a less nice environment than our, to be fair. It feels quite suffocating sometimes. I have spent quite some time there, and it's lovely in its own way, but you'll see for yourselves. Bottom line, we have tremendous pool of digital resources, and there are many different locations, libraries, where you can actually go and study there.
Just to jump in here, what you see on the picture, on the photo, is the University of the Institute of Advanced Legal Studies library, which is, if you decide to take a train and come to London, you can have, apart from the digital database, I mean, the database that you have access, of course, online, you can visit actually ILS, and you have access to this library. You can have access, apart from our Myland library, which is the main library in our main campus in Myland. You can get access to University of London Library at Senate House, and so there is the access to resources is massive as a student at CCLS. So move to the
just to add, I just wanted to make clear that ILS's resources aren't just physical, they also give you access to a whole lot of digital resources.
Yeah.
I found it quite useful to work through their library resources too.
Yeah, it is. ILS is I think it's the largest database of legal documents in UK. I don't know about the Europe. Moving to the next one, and I think we're coming towards the end. It is what you can do outside the classroom. And Maria, you already referred to a couple of them, but maybe if you want to go a bit further.
Well, I mean, I see a couple of, only few. We have a mentoring program, of course, which is you being matched to a mentor, to someone from the practice, and essentially get to know them and seek advice, etc. But to be honest, mentoring is something you are getting in all instances and by pretty much everyone, both us as faculty, but also in certain instances, the person, your classmate sitting next to you, probably will have rich experience, and the informal mentorship is also very important. QM extras is a sense, even Angeliki, I think it would be fair to say that even the critical thinking is some sort of a QM extra activity.
That's right. That's right.
And all those seminars or bespoke workshops that we will be putting together this year will be part of that QM Extra. It there will be an entire session on what to do outside the classroom during our induction days. I will only say one thing before I pass the floor again to Angeliki, talk about École de Guerre. Angeliki mentioned with reference to the picture, to the photo of the IALS library, that if you decide to jump on a train and go to London, please do, and you will. And most of our students have. And to give you concrete examples from this week only, tomorrow, I will be in London tomorrow, so I will get the grey part of the sky from London. We have our 40th Freshfields lecture. We will be hosting the former Secretary General of the ICSID. For those of you who don't know it, Google it. Huge name. And several of our Paris students will be there. On Friday this week, we have a career event coupled with a negotiation exercise at the premises of an energy company, Baker Hughes in London. And I believe 2 or 3 of our Paris students are also joining us there. So long story short, we are opening all the opportunities we have for our London students to our Paris students and vice versa. And we always think it is great that we all feel connected to both sides of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Angeliki, up to you for Q Legal and École de Guerre.
Yeah, École de Guerre, it's there historically because we used to have a debate team, and with École de Guerre and Queen Mary, we tried to reinstate this, but we still want to have a debate team. It's up to the students as well. This is one of the things that we expect our students to take an initiative with our support, of course, to organize. And maybe this year we will have, and we discussed with the Sorbonne and Dauphine, the universities in Paris, just to have a debate team and debate competition. And finally, which is, but not least actually, it is Q Legal. Q Legal is a massive project, award-winning project run by colleagues in London, but Paris students have the opportunity to participate, which in a nutshell is an entrepreneurship clinic, let's say. So you will take, you have the opportunity to consult, actually, to give consultation to startup companies with the supervision of our experts here in London, and our CCLS in general, not only here in London. So it is Paris students have equal opportunity to participate as London students, and this year we have 8 students actually from Paris that participate in this project. It is, I think it's a almost all year project, and a special presentation we will have during induction about Q Legal. I think that will be our last. No,
Yes.
that's very, yeah, okay, that's very practical information to keep in mind. It's for the fees. You will get the slides after where you can take a look. And another thing that maybe it's important is funding opportunities and scholarships that you have access to. Maria, do you want to say something about that?
No, I kind of think that before you've seen the fees before even bothering applying, so I have nothing to add.
Yeah, it's everywhere actually.
Yeah,
Maybe to
well,
to summarize why to join CCLS Paris, and that would be, I think.
Yes, I'll be very quick, and then maybe I'll ask Francois to make a case if he wants, and then open the floor to questions. Again, international program, very reputable. You get the best possible teaching staff you could wish for all the specialisms we are offering. We have a strong alumni network. We have small size classes, which means that you will be offered closer pastoral care than you would have ever had in London or any other place. And you will build a network that will be for life. I don't want to say again the intensive teaching part, but I so very much love it that I will just say it again. And you have intensive block teaching. I love freedom. That's why I love that part. Francois, anything to add or prove that I am wrong and overselling?
I've given the administrative staff and our lecturers enough time to talk about the slides. I am going to try and contextualize everything that they've said with reference to how my year has developed. Just by way of background, shortly, I have been in practice for about 14 years in litigation. So this year was me taking a sabbatical and coming through to Paris. Big move, big chance taken on moving to Paris for QMUL. And I have to say, from my perspective, it has not failed in the expectations at all. The QMUL LLM is really what you get out of it depends on what you put into it. And one of the examples mentioned by Professor Fanu is the intensive block teaching. And to give you some context to that, I still practice as an advocate in South Africa. I have done so this entire year. I've enrolled for the full-time LLM program. During my year, I've been in court in South Africa, I think about 4 or 5 times in argument, including a matter before our Supreme Court of Appeal. So the fact that you have intensive block teaching really helps you to diarize how your year is to be planned in advance, and it's really made it worthwhile for me. Now, without sounding like that is the only sort of profile that people look at, that QMUL looks at, it's completely not. I have many students in class with me that have just finished either their undergraduate degree or have decided at a much more junior level to come in and do an LLM. And they're also getting all the opportunities and advancement on the same level as I do. The intensive block teaching and Paris teaching, I am completely biased. The other reason being is that we are classes of 10 to 20 students. So our lectures are very intimate. They're interactive. We are debating with our lecturers throughout the classes. Some lecturers, I think, prefer the intellectual debate to such an extent that you kind of leave the course syllabus and carry on into what sounds interesting and what keeps you interested in the matter, but also with a full set of digital resources to learn yourself, to teach yourself. So once again, just to put it into context, what you get out of it is quite literally what you put into it. My year from a practical perspective started out quite difficult just on the Paris and the culture sort of environment. And notwithstanding that my first name is French, I do not speak a word of French at all. I did not when I started. I've taken it upon myself to learn French during this year to an extent that I've become somewhat conversational in it now. And I think it will only assist me in future to have another language on my CV at some point. But it's not expected of you. There are many other students at QMUL who do not learn French during their year, and it's not expected at all. Everything is completely in English. From my perspective, in the single LLM, I am doing the intellectual property specialism, many opportunities for networking in intellectual property, some of which I've attended in London. Also, I'm going to call it my subspecialism, even though it's not a formal subspecialism, is international arbitration.
I was hoping.
Yeah. Well, I could have said something else, but yes, it is. No, I've taken, other than my intellectual property subjects, purely subjects aligned with the international arbitration course. And in Paris, as a major seat in arbitration in the world, the opportunities have been endless this year. There's Paris Arbitration Week, which we attended. Some of the students were given opportunity to write for independent publishers outside of the school. There are multiple arbitration events throughout the year, both in London and in Paris. Once again, just opening up the world for networking quite a bit. I just had a list here. Oh, mentorship. Mentorship is aimed at your sort of the field that you want to work in. So I was given a mentor who is sat in London. However, I am in Paris. So we had a very flexible arrangement on when we could meet. Online was obviously the easiest. And my mentor was specialized in patent litigation in London, which was quite interesting to me at the time. Another point which is quite interesting about, let's call it my specialism and subspecialism, the dissertation that I had to write crosses two fields. It crosses intellectual property and it crosses arbitration. So I'm writing my dissertation on intellectual property arbitration, and QMUL has been very helpful with reference to lecturers who are willing to assist on either side in finalizing the dissertation. Other than that, I don't have much more to say to you except about the view from the library. Yes, it is a very beautiful view that we have of the Eiffel Tower, but culture and beauty in Paris is one thing. I mean, I just wanted to share this, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share, but I'm going to see if I can get this from my camera here, but it's a photo I took the other day of Envalide. Although I don't think, let me see, I've got 8 windows open, so it's asking me which one. I hope you can all see this, but this is autumn in Paris, and the view we have right outside the school of Envalide in the background there with the colors meshing. I'm not the best photographer, but this was just a very nice photo. So from your morning croissant to a baguette for lunch into walking around like this in Paris, managing your own time, being flexible, and putting in the effort to study and then to get what you want out of it. This program for me has been, from a flexibility perspective, absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Francois, so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have two pleas. My first plea is that we change the photo of the IALS with a photo of the view from our library. And be in our next webinar, I won't join. Francois can do my part. And that will save me some time. Sorry.
Me neither. Francois, you will be on your own.
Yes. And
Yeah,
that's
that was
what happens
amazing.
when you do well, huh? You always get more and more.
Well, I mean, I had good leaders in this matter, so thank you.
Thank you, Francois. So questions now.
Yeah, as far as I can see, there hasn't been any in the Q&A function, which must mean that we've covered everything in the presentations with Francois.
I'm very concerned when there are no questions.
Yeah. Okay,
Here
we've got one. We've got a few now. Jeff, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting to see if anybody else. This is I have an offer for the double program with the Sorbonne. There was just one thing on one of the slides where you mentioned that it kind of implied that if you're on that program, do you have to take the international business law option for?
Yes, but let me say that, and Angeliki, do correct me if I'm wrong. This is technical in what sense? Exactly because we have an agreement with Sorbonne, and you cannot change the title of the LLM you get from Sorbonne. You cannot change the title of the program you are getting from us. But this program, the International Business Law program, essentially gives you access to all modules. So let's assume that you wanted to specialize in IP. I don't know. I usually use the example arbitration, but I'm accused of being biased.
Well, yeah, well, let me just say my personal statement was predicated entirely on me taking all the arbitration path.
Brilliant. And I'm so glad I didn't prompt that. But yeah, so you can take all arbitration modules.
Okay.
It will only be a question of title. But consider that there are universities, other universities, and notably also in the US, who only have an LLM program, LLM in laws, nothing else. And then essentially what nuances what you have studied is the modules you have taken. So it's only a title.
So
it doesn't anyhow.
The title on the certificate will say International Business.
No, don't be scared. You can take all the arbitration modules.
Yeah, you can take all arbitration.
I can take all of the arbitration modules if I wish.
Yes.
Okay, I did have another question floating around the back on. I'll let somebody else go first.
Okay, Sonia, I think you're next.
Thank you, Sophie. Hello, I'm Sonia, and I'm an applicant for this year's Sorbonne Queen Mary double LLM program starting as of next January. And I wanted to ask, because it was mentioned that the teaching is interactive, and what I wanted to ask is it more discussion-based, or is it structured as formal seminars, the classes?
Two things. First, the highly interactive part refers to our Queen Mary side. Of course, Sorbonne is a different animal. That's why you're getting the double LLM and the double experience. On our side, what interactive means is that at least, every lecturer has a different style. So the degree of interactiveness varies depending on the lecturer. But for example, we might have case studies, and there might be a seminar component as part of the session. As you will see in the schedule that Angeliki will share closer to the date, for example, you might have investment arbitration from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. These are 4 hours. Picture for a moment that you have the best lecturer in the world talking to you non-stop for 4 hours. I think both sides would have killed themselves. So you can jump in and ask questions. There might be that the lecturer will be asking questions to think about issues that are being raised, and there might very well be a component of, okay, so here is that case. Who read that case? Can you please summarize the facts for me? Or it can be, okay, this is what the court said in that instance, and here's what the other court said in that instance. What seems to you more reasonable? Or what would you have thought about this issue? This kind of interactive. But of course, there will be a lecture component and then the interactive component. But you won't be there sleeping, that I can reassure you.
If I may just clarify my statement earlier, all courses have a set syllabus. They start with a set syllabus in the year. What makes it interactive on my part is the fact that we're sitting in classes of 10 to 20 people and there's a lively debate. None of us agree. You can see it from those who have common law backgrounds to those who have civil law backgrounds. You can immediately see the minds working in different directions when they try to reconcile those together. In my case, I'm lucky I'm in a hybrid system where we have both common and civil law. So I just like to play devil's advocate when this happens. And it makes it a whole lot of fun to take part in the lectures, which remain structured, but it's just fun to be part of. It's not a class, and no offense to the London students, but it's not a class of 70 people where you essentially listen to a lecture all day. We, in fact, had an ex-London student who commented on this a week ago when she visited a lecture of Professor Dimitar here in London as well. And she also took note that debate and let's call it the ferocity of the debate for the moment, was quite interactive, and it was quite nice for her to be part of that in our class.
I would like to add something not so exciting, a bit boring. It is, apart from the lectures, you will have access to a e-learning platform, and there you can see how each module has been organized and the structure of each module with all the materials that you may need, or references to bibliography and all that you can visit, you can prepare yourself and all this kind of stuff. So what happens in the class, it is, as both Francois obviously experienced, Maria knows very well, and how the classes are organized.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
It's not like cold calling or making someone feeling uncomfortable. It's the actual interactive, you're engaged. And there is an assumption that you have done your readings in advance.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Hélène, we'll come to you next.
Thank you so much for this session. I just had a quick question. I'm actually interested in just doing an LLM in September 2026. And I was wondering, when is the deadline to apply for this LLM?
I mean, that I would say apply as soon as possible. Let's say that is the best thing that I can tell you. But the deadline, I think it will be towards the end of August. Yeah, beginning of end of August. I would say it is, if you have everything in place. But I would say if you are ready to apply, please start the application process. If you, even for example, you're missing, I'm giving an example, if you're missing your English, for example, that is part of the requirements, do apply and you will get a conditional offer on what is missing. But start the whole process as soon as you can, because there are a lot of requirements in translated documents, certificates, transcripts, so it's good to be prepared on that.
Because I'm still studying now, my last year of my master's, and I'm from Belgium. And so I won't have that degree until June. And so
you can apply now,
okay,
and this will be conditional on successful completion, blah, blah, whatever it's the academic requirement, plus your English if this is missing as well.
Okay,
and
thank you so much.
If you're based in Belgium, I mean, I don't know where in Belgium, it's different if you are in Arlon and different if you are in Brussels.
Brussels, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very short and cheap train or bus ride to Paris. So we would be very happy to see you there if you, you know, have any further questions, or if you want to attend, I don't know, the induction opening event in January. You
that
might
was my
get a
second
flavor.
question. It's not mandatory, the session that you spoke of now in January, the introduction days now.
Wait, we spoke about 2 sessions in January. We refer, not sessions, we discussed the QM Extra opportunity, which is Introduction to Critical Thinking and Writing, one thing. But for that, you need to be registered to the program. And then we have the induction week, to which you don't have access, but there is a part of it which is open to the public. And that is the opening lecture, which we call it opening lecture for brevity. But in essence, this year it will be a round table discussion.
Yeah.
And you're more than welcome to attend it.
Okay. It just to, again, another clarification, each cohort, I mean, each group of students, they can start in January, and we have an induction week for January students before the actual teaching and start of the program. And when you start in September, you will have a similar thing at the beginning of September, let's say, which is mandatory to be there. But of course, as already Maria said, you are welcome to join the open lecture and in January if this is something that you wish to do, because you are not far away.
Okay, thank you so much.
In September, one of our speakers was from the European Commission.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll come to you next, Jeff, and then we'll come to Sonia.
Yeah, I mean, I think Francois touched on a lot of this. I think that the thing I was kind of seeking some reassurance about is, I said, I'm currently working until Christmas as an in-house lawyer in England. Been admitted as a lawyer here for 9.5 years, got several years experience before that in similar roles without being qualified, and so I hope I'm not going to feel old on the course. I think the
Jeff, I can tell you I'm fairly old, and I'm not the oldest on the course in the first place, but I'm also in our group. I think I don't mind saying I'm 37 years old. In our group, we've got at least 4 people around my age. And the one is older. He has 2 kids. He works from Strasbourg. The other one is a Canadian lawyer who, because of consequence and circumstance in his life, decided to take a year sabbatical in Paris as well. He also happens to be a French citizen, so it was just an easy option for him. And the others have been in practice for 4 to 5 years. A lot of them are still in practice and are continuously working throughout the course. Obviously, with their employer's permission, they're doing that. To give you an idea of the extent to which I went to move here, my Dalmatian and my German Shepherd from South Africa are downstairs in my house right now. So I moved the whole family, me and everyone up here. Well, when I say the whole family, it's me and my 2 dogs, and it's been quite nice to be able to experience these classes and these lecture in the intensive block teaching and arrange my life around it. So
I mean, I will not be continuing to work alongside, but I kind of got to the point of I've kind of being, I suppose, worn out intellectually by work, and it's time for something different.
Especially since you mentioned earlier that you want to take a dispute resolution modules, there is one thing you need to know about arbitration. We are never old. There is always a way to make you. We have baby, young, under 40, under 45, and you are always a baby. Okay.
In fact, on the never old score, it was part of Prof. Mastelis's class the other day, and he was mentioning to us the age of some of the current arbitrators, which are above 90 years old. Exit arbitrators still continuing after 90 years old.
But put it this way, and let's just acknowledging that I've got an offer for the double LLM with the Sorbonne. So during the course of the whole program, shall we say, I will turn 50.
So we have a birthday party during.
Well, yes, you could do that.
Well noted.
We will have a big one, but we have to let us know as well.
Yes.
In fact, sorry, Jeff, it just jumps to mind. I've got a friend in South Africa who did the LLM. I think it was 2 years ago, the international arbitration one. And I think he's the same age, if not older than you. He's been in practice as an attorney in South Africa for many years. He would have been with Prof. Fanu if you gave lectures 2-3 years ago. Okay, yeah. So I don't think there's much in the age thing. If you want to be intellectually stimulated, then this is the place to be and take a bit of a year off.
Yes, exactly. That's really part of my aim.
Brilliant. Thanks, Francois.
Thank you all.
No worries. And Sonia, we'll come to you next, and then I think we'll wrap up. I'll post our email, the marketing email, in the chat, or we'll come to you next. Okay, so Sonia.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, because part of the program contains the internship component, and I wanted to ask what types of internships have previous students undertaken, and whether it is also possible to complete an internship in Luxembourg or in Belgium.
Now, this internship part it is part of the program. It's managed by the Sorbonne. So it's not, and it can be any kind of internship. I'm not sure about the, I mean, if you can do it in a different country. I cannot see why, but why not actually? But this is something that you have to discuss with the Sorbonne, as it's part of their offering. Let's say we have students that they are doing internship as well from the single LLM. It's not part of our program. We support them.
It though.
Yeah, we support it as the third part of the Convention de Stage, but and again, it can be in any different kind of law firms or whatever the students want to do. But specifically for what you're asking, it's better to contact the Sorbonne.
I see. Thank you.
Great. Were there any other questions? So,
I
Ellen,
think
can you
there
put
was
your
one
hand up?
from
Ilinka, I
Ilinka?
think it was one.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you can hear me well. Sorry, I'm outside. I wanted to make sure that everything is fine with the sound and I will not interrupt. So thank you for your presentation. It was very comprehensive and informative. I wanted just to add up, for example, I'm currently student in my second year, but I will go in exchange in my third year at Sciences Po Paris, and I will be coming in London, and I intend to apply for the double LLM in the future. And I wanted to know whether or not we will get the information for the Paris event integration one, about details on which date will be set in, because I'm really interested to come. So that's why I wanted to know more about that.
Yes, Ilinka, if I got you correctly, for the public component of the program, yes, there will be an Eventbrite page. You will be able to register. We hope to open registrations in about 10-15 days from today. So feel free to also email us if you are not able to locate the information online, and we will be more than happy to see you there. And if by any chance you said you are in London now, or did I hear what I wanted to hear?
I will be from September in London.
Okay,
Now
sorry.
I'm in Paris. Yeah.
Okay. But if any of you in that group is in London right now and they have an interest in joining the Freshfields lecture tomorrow, so long as you drop me a line within the next 2 or 3 hours, I can make that work.
Sorry, just a quick question off the back of that. What time would that be?
5:30 p.m. Starting at 6 sharp, because it's in Lincoln's Inn Fields, and there is no way you can access the room without everybody looking at you. The door is right behind the speaker, so it will be the most humiliating moment in your life if you are not there by 10 to 6, let's say.
Okay. Could potentially get there, but I accidentally ended up on a different webinar yesterday that turned out not to be this one. They did talk about this, and I think I just Googled it and discovered that if you go via the usual website route, it says it's full. Can't take.
Yes, but I'm saying that you can come. So usually in the Kelsenian model, what I say prevails.
Okay.
So just drop me a line, but I need an email from you now, like within the next 2 hours, to have you in the list, in the Queen Mary special list.
Okay.
You won't have a name tag. That's the price you pay.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'll close it off there. Angelique, Maria and Francois, thank you very much for your time today. And thanks very much for those who attended and asked questions. As I said, this webinar is recorded, so we'll send it out to you in the next few days, but bear with us if we haven't got it to you straight away. I've popped the law marketing email in the chat, so yes, if you have any questions, please email us and we'll get back to you there. But yes, have a lovely rest of your day, and thanks very much for attending.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
all.
Francois.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank you, Francois. Thank you, Sophie.